Hey everybody, Jim Powers with MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision, and a busy fall starting off for us. Cross country already underway, and our men's and women's swim and dive teams will get their season started this weekend at William Jewell. And joining us is one of the great student athletes from our men's swimming and diving team, Jack Riffel. And Jack, thanks so much for the time. How's everything going? How's the first bunch of weeks of school treating you?
Thank you for your time, and it is treating me pretty well. Getting back into everything. Not having uh, the access to a pool over the pandemic so far during the summer, and when everything shut down, it was kind of rough. So getting back into it, but getting with it now.
We'll talk about the training here in a second, what you're able to do over the summer. But, one of the things that I'm asking all of our student athletes is, how well versed we were back in March when everything happened and we had to, pivot to the virtual learning, and how well Maryville was prepared for something along those lines. And everybody did extremely well, including our student athletes, with, making that pivot and being able to do their stuff virtually.
Yeah. When everything happened during the pandemic and in March when we switched over to online, I felt like the transition was very smooth. All the professors and everything was very accommodating for everybody's internet situation or the situation they were in, trying to move back home and getting it all grouped back together. So.
And then training wise, I mean, it had to be crazy just trying to figure out what you can do. Pool's not open pretty much for the most part all summer long. So, what were you able to do? Dryland and different things along those lines to kind of keep your body, in shape and ready to go for when you were able to get in the pool, here in the fall.
So when it all happened, the first couple months, probably I'd say from the beginning of April to probably around mid June, I biked a lot, and then I also ran and did some dry land to stay in shape. And then when probably the middle of June to August, the beginning of August, I was able to get a membership at the Y, so I could swim there a couple times a week. So.
People don't understand with swimmers, and I know this. My better half is actually a former swim coach, so I know what dry land is for, for swimmers. But people think, oh, swimming, it's all in the pool. But dry land is even more important sometimes than being in the pool to stay in shape, especially during the off season.
Oh, definitely. If you work harder, I feel like sometimes on the dry land part of things, you are building more strength so you can pull more water and also have more power off the walls and stuff. So.
New coach with Coach Nicholson. He's come in hitting the ground running. Got some great freshmen coming in in a short amount of time. But talk a little bit about his style and what you guys think over the first couple weeks of practices, what he's bringing to our program here at Maryville.
So the first initial was when we first got him because we were supposed to start 2 weeks prior to when we really started because it got pushed back. And so we were supposed to start where it's kind of like moderate and so like kind of working into harder sets. But when we got to the pool, we actually had to go straight into like doubles and the harder stuff because we don't have as much time. And so far what he's brought to practices and our training routine, I would say is pretty top notch because it's intense. It's working all of our muscles, working everything, and I would say we're probably almost to almost to where we were when we left off in February, March. So.
And you're going to be part of a leadership group with Carl and with Joseph and a colleague, and a couple of the women to really lead this team. What are going to be some of the things you guys are going to be really stressing to the underclassmen and especially the incoming freshmen, to help get the program keep moving in the right direction?
Obviously, the mental aspect of things is always a big part because if you don't have a strong mental side of things when you're swimming, you're not gonna have the right attitude going into practices. So you got to have a positive attitude, even if some days you're not hitting the times you want or a meet. You got to move forward and just progress and look back on those swims and see what you can do to make yourself better.
How excited are you guys to finally be able to compete this weekend at William Jewell? I mean, obviously, our fans aren't going to be able to be there to watch, but there'll be a live stream. But how excited are you guys to finally get in the pool and swim against somebody after this long layoff?
Obviously, I think everybody's pretty excited just because competitions are always the most fun of everything probably throughout the entire season because you get to see what you've put into the pool and what you've done in practices and see your results and how you're progressing. So I think everybody's pretty ecstatic about being able to race and actually get up and go. So
And this year's going to be a little bit different just because of the condensed schedule too. So not a lot of meets, so to say, that what you guys are used to, but every meet is going to count. So, times and PRs and that kind of stuff, they're going to be at a premium here over the next 3 months leading into the conference championship.
yeah, and so what Bill's gonna do is he's gonna give us, since we only have so many meets, he wants us to have the best opportunity to set us up for conference coming back from winter break. And so he's giving us a little bit of rest so we can get up and go and actually have what would probably be like uh, a decent race to where it will set us up pretty well.
Awesome stuff, Jack. Well, it's great to talk to you as always. Excited about the swim season and seeing you guys get going this weekend out at William Jewell. Good luck, and I know we will be following some great stuff from our swim and dive teams.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Jack Riffel joins us, and once again, the swim and dive teams will open up this weekend out at William Jewell. It'll be on Saturday afternoon starting at 1 o'clock. Once again, they do have spectator limitations. No visiting fans will be allowed, but they will be streaming. We have the link on the schedule page on the swim and dive schedule page. So you'll be able to click on that link and follow along as our men's and women's swim and dive teams begin their season on Saturday out of William Jewell. For Jack, I'm Jim Powers. Thanks so much for tuning in to MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision. Have a great week. And as always, go Saints.